Tell me if this sounds familiar. You have a YouTube channel, but you decide to try new things like live streaming or posting a lot on Twitter or posting images on Instagram or short videos on TikTok or even on YouTube. And it helps at first, the cross-contamination helps your subscriber numbers and your view numbers go up. But then after a certain point, you just plateau. The followers don't, they stop coming and the subscription numbers don't go up and the view counts actually start to lower, if anything. You've probably fallen into the same problem that I think a large number of people fall into. And the problem revolves around you, but it's not actually you. That's the problem. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. The reason we're talking about this is because recently I've actually quit live streaming. Now I say quit live streaming, I've quit regular live streaming. I just don't do it every week anymore. And it came down to this one specific reason, that the live stream version of me is not the best version of me. I live streamed for something like 4 years. And before that, I actually had this YouTube channel going for maybe 3 or 4 years before the live stream even began. I watch other people's channels, my friends' channels, people I don't even know personally, and I can see the version that they're putting forward on Twitch and the version that they're putting forward on YouTube. And what they're showing on Twitch is nowhere near as good as what they're showing on YouTube. So what's actually going on there? Is it that they're nervous when they go on Twitch, or maybe it's just they've chosen the wrong genre of game when they're on a live stream? Is it actually Twitch that's the problem, and maybe they should be live streaming on YouTube? Well, I analyzed my own channel, and really when it comes down to it, I don't think that the live stream version of me really is up to the same standard as the version of me on YouTube. This goes really far back to a video I watched a long time ago that was really inspiring to me, and it was a TED Talk about something called the flipped classroom. And I won't explain what the whole flipped classroom thing was about. But essentially, this one guy discovered a new method of teaching which involved videos. And the reason videos were working was because that was the best version of him. He used to teach his nephew through something like Skype calls, video chatting. And, that was quite useful. But there was one time when he couldn't show up to the lesson. So he recorded a video for his nephew instead. And when he went back to doing video chats after, I don't know, maybe he was sick at the time and he got better and he was able to do video chats again. He talked to his nephew and the nephew said, actually, can you just send me a video? Because, I like that version better. It's easier for me. And he felt like that was a bit of a backhanded compliment. Well, because it's a nice thing to say that he likes the video, but it's like, you don't like me? Like, this is the real me, the version of me that's live right now. How can you not like this version of me? Well, that's exactly what I experienced when I was streaming on Twitch. Obviously, all the people who come to the stream, they say nice things. It's not like people go out of their way to come to the stream and say, I prefer you on YouTube. I think those people, if they're thinking that, they just don't show up on this stream. They're not going to come over just to say something mean like that. Well, insofar I haven't experienced anything like that. Fingers crossed, or touch wood is the phrase. I was really inspired by that talk to learn more about the flipped classroom, but also the power of video. And also at that time when I watched the video, I had already been doing YouTube for a long time. So it's kind of strange that it took me so long to figure this out. But when I started live streaming, like I was saying at the start, it was working out really well to try out this new version of me because of the cross-pollination. People discover me on Twitch, they come over to the YouTube channel. People discover me on YouTube, they come over to the Twitch. And eventually you're like your own personal network. On Twitch, I had 0 followers on day 1. But even then, I had over 100 concurrent viewers at the time. Thing is, that number went up and down and up and down and eventually kind of settled around 60. And then, with the pandemic happening, there were times when it would go up to like 80 or 90, but then dip down to 40 or 45. And it was just like, I don't know, if I'm a 100 concurrent viewer level streamer, then shouldn't my numbers just be going up as I get better? Because I was pretty sure that I was getting better at streaming. Last month, I did my final live stream, my final regular live stream. On those final streams, I explained to everyone, this really isn't the best version of me. Because when you watch a YouTube of me on the Nihongo Gamer channel, it's highly, highly edited. These videos that I make, unless they're talk videos like this, which actually I don't edit a whole lot. When I make videos of products, things like, I've got a video game controller and I'm like showing off how it works and all the testing that I'm doing, those shoots take something like 2 to 3 hours to do. And then I whittle down all of that footage into a 10 to 15, sometimes 20-minute video. So there's like hours and hours of me that you don't see because it's just not very interesting. It's not a very interesting part of me. And also my editing style, I think everyone has their own individual style, but my personal editing style is just to get rid of the worst parts of me. So what you're left with is a video, and hopefully those are the best parts of me. Also, a number of things just happen by accident. When I first started on the channel, the most frequent comment I would get from friends and from comments on the channel would be, how do you have so much energy? I was like, really? Do I have a lot of energy? It's not actually that I have a lot of energy. It's just that my camera, the battery would overheat after 6 minutes or 7 minutes. Like I was using an old DSLR and it was not designed to record video for longer than 5 or 6 minutes. And so I would always try to do the introductions to my videos before I did the gameplay testing and the reviewing portion. I would always do the face-to-face part on this DSLR that would overheat after 6 to 7 minutes. And so I had to make sure I got a good take done in those 6 to 7 minutes. Otherwise, I'd have to wait like half an hour while the camera cooled down so I could try again. As a result, I ended up being really energetic at the start of a lot of my videos. Sometimes it's an accident that you end up more interesting in a video, and sometimes it's intentional, like my editing style. I am literally cutting out the worst parts of me. But whatever it is, these things all come together to become a very tight package, a YouTube video. But on the Nihongo Gamer channel, which is mostly about hardware and, like I say, controllers, every now and then I'll post these talk videos, and even though the people who watch them are very happy to see the series continue, it doesn't actually get that many views. And it's because this isn't the version of me that most of my subscribers want to see. The version of me that my subscribers want to see is the energetic, excited person who gets cool gear in and tries stuff out. And that is 100% me, but it's not me 100% of the time. If you are running a YouTube channel and you're wondering why certain videos don't get the views that other videos are getting, or if you're quite a big YouTuber and you've got a Twitch live stream and you're just not finding people showing up to the live streams as you had expected, it's just like, well, you're a certain size, you've got 50,000 subs. It's entirely possible that it's just that's not the best version of you. That's not to say that it can't be the best version of you. I think there's the potential for anyone to adapt to the format, the platforms that they want to be on. Maybe you could quit your YouTube channel and become a really good streamer. So looking at my friends' channels and, channels that just interest me, and I watch these streams and I'm like, it is really great that you stream and you do seem to be having a good time, but it doesn't seem to be worth the effort compared to the amount of time that you have to spend on it. If you're not going to do YouTube only, if you're going to do Twitch as well, you've got to understand that you're kind of stretching yourself out thin, and as a result, you don't have as much time to dedicate to the best version of yourself. So actually, having quit regular live streaming lately, I have had like the most motivating 2 months of probably the past 3 years. If you're doing YouTube as your side gig and you're stretching yourself thin, you're trying to do YouTube and you're trying to do live streaming, the problem is you don't really have enough time to do live streaming the way that live streamers who do it as their full-time gig do it. People who stream on Twitch live pretty much 5 days a week, 5 to 7, some people are doing it literally every day. It's a very different kind of channel because, like I've talked about in previous videos on other channels, it's a lot like vlogging. People don't always show up because they know that your content is good. They just get kind of addicted after a while. And I know this because I would watch a lot of other people's vlogs. And when those channels decided to stop vlogging and become like review channels or tech channels, I was like, this is not the best version of you. The best version of you was the vlog version, as in, you're not very interesting, but at least you do it every day, so I can check in, and so I can kind of feed my addiction to, your channel. All I'm really trying to say is that you need to have a good look at yourself and what you're presenting people. If you're playing a certain genre of game and it's, the popular game that everyone likes, let's say it's, I don't know, Apex Legends or Splatoon or Overwatch or whatever the game is, it might be a very popular game, but if you're not very good at it, then is this really the best version of you? You have to ask yourself the question. If you're doing something that you really, really enjoy, like playing a really boring genre of game that not that many people want to watch, but you enjoy doing it, and so you're doing it as your YouTube channel, then you have to ask yourself, okay, well, this is a game you like, and you've recorded yourself playing it, so I was going to say ichio, it's a Japanese term, just in case, the case is that, yes, you are putting content out there, but people don't want to watch you do this. They would much rather maybe read you as a website. It could be that the best version of you is not video content, because to some extent, video content does kind of require a compelling, not personality, but production level. Your voice might not be the best way to present you. It could actually be that your voice is your weakness, and your thoughts and ideas could be viral if they were presented as websites. And clearly, website advertising is not dead. Maybe it's all the rage to be on a YouTube channel, on an influencer channel, because it's easy to consume, and also video ads are very powerful. But it could well be that you could be very profitable on something like a website. What is the best version of you? Is it YouTube videos? Is it blogging on a website? Or is it providing a consistent service, which is being there all the time, every single day as a live streamer? Or is it giving all of your thoughts to another person with a co-host on a podcast? I think when most people look at their channels, they may discover that 85% of the content that they're putting up on their channel, even though technically it's popular stuff like unboxings or reviews or how-to videos, guides, or attempting to do funny comedy skits as YouTube shorts, you have to ask yourself, like, are you actually good at comedy? Are you good at doing things without a script? Are you good at doing things with a script? If you're giving people a version of you that isn't the best you, people cotton on pretty quickly, especially if they know that there's other content that you do which is the better version of you. And that's definitely true of the Nihongo Gamer channel. People watch probably 85% of my videos, and they're thinking, yeah, but this is not a controller review, and let's face it, the best version of you is the one that reviews controllers, for that channel. I'll leave you with one last final story. And actually, it goes back to when I was doing student radio at university. I had done a film music soundtrack live show, and I had never really done radio before. So I created an introduction that would play at the start of my, I want to say podcast, at the start of my radio show. It was live, and it had all sorts of cool music from various movies, and I was really proud of it. And it had this thumping, really fast-paced dance track in the back. It was really exciting. It really made this show sound really exciting. But then the show would start, and it would sound exactly like what you're hearing right now. It's me being kind of chilled out and going, there are some awesome soundtracks out there that are orchestral, but sometimes the best soundtracks are just a guy with an acoustic guitar singing away some lyrics that are vaguely related to the movie. That's exactly what it sounded like. Right after an intro that's like bum 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 bum, and the producer of the radio station comes over to me after hearing the show in the studio, and he goes, "This intro, like, it's really good, but it's not you." I was like, does it matter? Shouldn't I just give people the most exciting intro? And he's like, it has to match you. An intro that isn't as exciting but matches your content better is going to be a much better intro for your show. And at the time, I believed him and I changed the intro to my show, but I didn't really understand the nuance of that until I started doing this. YouTube videos. Now that we have all of the analytics, like way more analytics than we had on that student radio station. But now you can see tempting people in with an exciting thumbnail, which has nothing to do with your style. Like if you're just a chilled out person that likes to chat calmly about topics, but your thumbnail makes it look like you are skateboarding off a building into a volcano filled with molten lava. It's like, well, it's a very exciting thumbnail, but people are going to click away from the video. They know that people only spent 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. People will probably click. Within 1 second, they know that this is nothing like what you promised in the thumbnail. If you've chosen to be a version of you that isn't the best version of you, then I think you're just being really inefficient with your time. And that might be fine if you're a student and you have plenty of time. But if you're like me, you now have a family and a full-time job, and you're also doing YouTube as a side gig, and you're trying to make it all fit together. Eventually it gets to a point where it's like, if it's not profitable, actually, if what you're doing is not a worthwhile cause, if it doesn't add value to the world, and if it doesn't help, if you can't justify it yourself monetarily, then you might need to consider doing something else which does bring money in that isn't a YouTube channel. And I think if you want to continue doing a YouTube channel, it makes sense to filter it down and be efficient and give people the version of you that's the best version of you, because that's the version that's going to get the views, it's going to bring the followers in, the subscribers, and eventually the money. And that's all I've got for today. Just wanted to talk about finding the best version of you, because definitely quitting live stream for me for these past couple months free from doing regular live streaming commitments, I've had so much more time to focus on YouTube channels, the main one, this new one, my drawing channel, and really understand what my output is, who I'm giving it to, and becoming better about not feeding stuff to people that they didn't ask for. So if you are interested to see more talk videos like this, be sure to subscribe here on this channel. At the moment, it's called Thinking Blank. I might change the name of the channel in the future, but I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. If you are interested in drawing, I do have a drawing channel. There's a link below, and also a link to my main channel, Nihongo Gamer, which is, like I said, all about controllers and hardware. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment below. Do you have a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream, and do you 100% believe truly that you're giving people the best version of you? Or having listened to this video, are you starting to wonder if maybe you're only giving people the best version of you sometimes, and actually you keep feeding them versions of you that maybe they don't need, like the live version of you. Like, no, stay alive, but the live stream version of you. Let me know in the comments section. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you next time.